This is a video for native mobile programming course. In this video, we are going to talk about material design. First of all, we need to know what is a material design. Well, basically, material design is a design system built and supported by Google designers and developers. Material.io includes in-depth user experience guidance and UI component implementations for Android, Flutter, and the web. Basically, you can think this material design is tools to help developers with designing their apps, especially for mobile app. It's not limited only to Android because it also support Flutter and also support for web apps too. To know more details about material designs, you can visit this website, m3.material.io/get started. Why do we need material design? The first reason is because we want to provide unified user experience across various devices, platforms, and input methods when the users use our apps. So can you imagine if, let's say, you use Instagram in a Samsung, and then after that, you change your mobile phone to, let's say, LG, and then you open the same app, Instagram, but it will display a different layout. How will you feel as the users who use that application? It will not feel good, right? It will get confusing how you can uh, manage to use the app, right? So this is why the material designs provide this kind of unified experience by providing the templates or tools that the mobile app developers can utilize. Second of all, material design provide guidelines for everything. So starting from typography, grid, space, scale, color, the theme for the app, and also imagery. So all these guidelines that they provided is purpose toward to provide a unified user experience. And lastly, material designs enable designers to create intentional designs with hierarchy, meaning, and more focus in their end result. So aside from providing the library, the tool, as I mentioned earlier, that material design also provide the guideline for designing the apps, right? Such as the typography, color, and then they also provide the best practices how you can design your app so that your app can give a good user experience. So you can take a look at this several guidelines and also best practices in the website in this material.io, m3.material.io. So you can take a look at their blog. They also have the blogs. Okay, you can visit and then you can explore on your own on this website. So in this video, we're going to cover more about color typography, about view pages, bottom navigation bar, and then how later on you can experiment on yourself to create a custom typography, to use a custom typography for your app, and also create a custom text field, button, and also card component. Okay, let's talk about our first topic about colors and typography. So before we begin with the in-depth topic, so you might want to first create a new project. So you can name the project this as NRP Hello Material. And then in here, I've already created a project and I name the project here as the SNRP Hello Material. You can give the project name as you see fit. Okay, as long as you understand that your project here is the introduction for yourself to use this material design. And then don't forget to set up the view binding for your project. So first open up the build Gradle at the module scope. Okay, open this one. And then you want to add this line of code, build features, view binding equal true. And then for this project, since we use material design version 3, so your Android Studio later on, when you compile your project, it will ask you to upgrade your compile SDK to use the version 34. So without waiting for the Android Studio to prompt you with this action, so it's better for you to change the versions of your Compile SDK right away. So take a look at this Android scope and then find out the Compile SDK. Change your Compile SDK to version 34. And as usual, after you make some changes in this build.gradle file, don't forget to synchronize your Gradle project. Okay, synchronize project with Gradle file, and then wait until the synchronization process is finished. Once the synchronization process is finished, okay, let's create a new activity in your main project. Okay, right click on the package, just new activity, empty views activity, and then give the activity name main activity, and don't forget to set it as a main, as a launcher activity. Okay, create the main activity. In here, I have already created my main activity file. In your main activity, don't forget to initialize the binding, the view binding here by adding up this line of code, private let init var, and then create an object for the bind the layout of activity main, this one. And then don't forget to set the content view to the root of your bind object, this one, using these two codes. Right. Next, how are we going to use this material design in our project? So basically, when we want to use material design, it's not only limited to Android project. We can also use it, as I mentioned earlier, we can use it for Flutter and also web. And then for its corresponding platform, you can visit this link, which is provided in the website of material design. But um, for simplicity's sake, for your convenience sake, so the links are also provided in this PPT, so you can visit this website for the corresponding platform that you use. Let's say for Flutter, visit this API to Flutter developer, blah, blah, blah. This one for Jetpack Compose. This is for Android. Okay, another package for to create Android project. So you can visit developer android.com Jetpack Compose. Okay. For Android itself, it has the guidelines in here. GitHub.com, materials components, master. For web apps, you can visit github.com, material components, material web. Okay. And aside from this, you can also use material design for prototyping. So one of the prototyping tools that is quite well known nowadays is Figma. So if you want to integrate material design into your Figma design, okay, you can visit this link. Right. Next, let's start to talk about colors and typography. Basically, color is crucial to represent a brand and also the company. So can you mention in here, I have already put several examples of a company in Indonesia, IT company in Indonesia. Okay, can you mention what color that represent this brand? Tokopedia. Well, the first color that might come into your mind is probably green, right? So you can directly relate. The green color is related with Tokopedia. Oppo, purple. Twitter, light blue. Facebook, dark blue. Shopee, orange. Okay. And some other colors are not only related with the IT company, but you can also find the traditional company. They also use this color to represent their brand, such as, for example, here we can see Commonwealth Bank. It used yellow color as its primary color, and then you can often see that in many of their office or branch, the environments are majorly designed with yellow color. In material design 3 contains two key colors. The first one is the accent colors, and then the second one is neutral colors. So for the accent color itself, it consists of primary color, secondary color, and also tertiary key colors. As for the neutral colors, it can be divided into two types, the neutral key colors and also neutral variant key color. If you want to read the guideline about color in material design 3, you can visit this website. Let's talk more about material accent color. So Material accent color, there are three types: the primary, secondary, and also tertiary key color. Let's take a look what are the uses for each color. The primary key color is used to derive roles for key components across the UI, such as the FAB, prominent buttons, active states, as well as the thin of elevated surfaces. While for the secondary color is used for less prominent components in the UI, such as filter chips, while expanding the opportunity for color expression. The tertiary color is used to derive the roles of contrasting accents that can be used to balance primary and secondary colors or bring heightened attention to an element. Let's talk about material neutral color. The neutral color is used to derive surface color roles for backgrounds as well as for colors used for high emphasis text and icons. The neutral variant key colors is used to derive color roles for medium emphasis elements like text, icons, and component outline. You can describe the color name and also code to be used in the style, themes on color.xml file. You can find it inside this res and values folder. So this is an example of what is inside colors.xml. So we can find it in our Android project. So find the res folder, go to values, expand it, and then you will see colors.xml. So in mine, I have already used the colors provided from the material design tree. So by default, you will only have 6 color, the normal, the default 6 colors provided by Android Studio at the beginning. Okay. Later on, you can add on your own of the color that you want to have in your app, or you can just directly use the theme filter from the material design tree, in which we're going to cover after this. I will show you the way how you can utilize material design tree to provide you with the color themes with this code, so you don't need to write on your own. Material design guideline also introduced themes, in which themes is actually a collection of name resource that can be applied anywhere. So it's not specific to a particular view. There are two types of themes provided in Android for Android. The first one is the light themes, okay, the normal system themes, and then the second one is the night theme. You can see here I have two themes file, themes.xml and themes.xml with the parenthesis night. So this night is the theme for the dark mode of the app. So let's see how it works. So you can see the behavior of the themes that you use in your app by changing the UI mode in your applications. So of course, in your device, you can set the themes for your device, but we are not going to that step yet. So even the developers can also try to see what their app will looks like in different themes. Okay, so open your activity main, and then in your activity main, in your design toolbar here, you will see there is a shortcut icon called system UI mode, this one. So when you click, you will see the mode of the theme that you are using, we are using right now. So in this case, in mine, so by default, I choose the not night. So we can see that the background is white. So if I want to shift to use to night mode, or I want to use the night theme, okay, just selecting night for the mode. And then we see here the background with normally in white color, and then for the bottom navigation here, the menu here in light color, they are changed to dark mode. If you want to shift back to the light theme, so again, go over to this design toolbar and then system UI mode, and then change the mode to not night, and it will be changed again. Okay, let's take a look a little bit what is inside this themes file. Okay, so as you can see here in these themes, it lists out all the name for the themes. What are the color that should be used? Let's say what is the primary color, what is secondary color, what is the tertiary color, and then if there is some error, what are the color used to highlighted error. Okay, the container itself, the container for that error. Okay, you can see this one. If we hover on the app theme, we can see the value for each component like this one. Okay, the explanations. Okay, this is the color. You can see them here. Okay, and then if we want, we can also take a look at the neck theme. So what are the color used for our neck theme here? All right. Okay. Now let's start to installing the material design into our project. So basically, installing material design into our project is a pretty straightforward way. It's similar like how we can add the Picasso image library into our project. So open up our build Gradle, add the module app this one, and then find out the dependency scope here, and then inside the dependency scope, we want to add one line of code, this one. So add implementation, Google Android material, and use material 1.10. Okay, so this is the latest library of material design tree that we can use, that we can incorporate in our project. So don't forget, right after you add this line, the implementation, this one, okay, don't forget to sync your creator file with your project to enable the material design. Okay, next, we want to set up the theme for our applications using material design tree. So we will use the theme builder from material tree. You can visit here, m3.material.io theme builder. So we'll open this website. Okay, the theme builder, and then we will choose custom one. And then you will see on the left hand sidebar here, we can see there are several color that has been provided by default by the material design tree. Okay, by default it provides us with 4 colors: primary, secondary, tertiary, and also neutral color. Okay, when you click on each of these color, it will show up a pop-up window that we can change the color using this color picker. Okay, if we click on the secondary, it will change to the secondary color picker, tertiary color picker, and also this one is neutral color picker. Okay, if you want to see how this color will works in our app, you can take a look at the right hand side here. So this is a sample apps how the colors will looks like in our apps. So for example, like this one for the tertiary color, so it's used in this background of this card. Okay, the text it use neutral color. Okay. Then we can see here for the card view here, the background of card view, it use the secondary color. For the button, it use the primary one. Oh, sorry, the outline here, it should use this neutral color too. Okay, so we can take a look here what are the colors provided by these core colors, and even also the color used in the dark scheme. Right, so you can change the value, you can pick the color on your own, or you can use additional tool, additional library from the internet to help us to pick this color scheme. So you can go to this website, Color Hans Palette Popular, to help us to choose the color palette. colorhunts.co, palettes, and popular. So this website it provide us with the color that we can use, the selections of color palette that we can use that have been provided by many designers. Okay, so you can, let's say you want to pick a pastel theme. So what are the colors, themes for the pastel colors? If you want to go for a vintage feeling for your app, click on the vintage, and then you can see the selection of color palettes that you can pick for retro. Okay, you can go. Okay, let's say we want to pick a popular one for the month. Okay, you can pick one. Let's say here I want to pick these blue themes for the app. So click on this one, click on the any of the color palette that you want, and then when you scroll down on the page, you will see it provides the list of the color and also the color code here in the hexadecimal and also the value for the RGB. Okay, so let's take a look here. We see the color here is represented in layers, right? So the layers mean the different value for color. Okay. So for example, here the topmost layer here is the primary color, and then followed by the secondary color, followed with the tertiary color, and also the neutral or variant color. So this is the theme for the color. So actually you can change any value of this one, but this color palette it help the designers to pick, let's say, what colors that is in one theme. If let's say we want to pick this blue for our primary color. Okay, so how can we use this value? So you can click on this hexa code of the color, hexadecimal code. When you click it, it will copy the hexadecimal value, and then we go back to this material design theme builder. And then let's say click on this primary. We want to change this hexadecimal, paste it with the code that uh, we have copied from the color palette area. It will change, close, and then let's see what happened here. Okay, we can see the button here, the background is changed to use primary color. Okay, let's see next. The second color, the secondary, let's say I will follow this palette, secondary color, copy, put it inside the secondary picker, close, and then we can see for the secondary color, okay, it has also been changed. Tertiary color, copy the value, paste it on this tertiary, close, and then we can see here, okay, it used tertiary color, and then for the native or neutral color, neutral, change it to this one. Oops, not the correct value. Copy it again, paste it, close. Okay. And then we see that most of the background in our app changed to neutral color here. Okay, you can see the surface, this one is used. All right. So next, how can we use this value if we want to generate this value and then put it inside our apps, inside our project? As I've mentioned earlier, we can just utilize the material design, right, to put all the colors that we have chosen from material design and put it into our project here. So here, what you can do here, let's get back to the Steam Builder website. And then on the top right hand side here of the screen, you will see there is one export button. When you click it, it will expand a set of menu. Choose Android views or XML. And then it will download a package here, material theme.zip, extract the zip files, and then you will find out there are several folders and files. Okay, so open up the values. You will see there are two folders, colors and themes. So you copy these two files into our project. Okay, copy these colors and themes. Okay, copy these two files, and let's go back to our project. And then, okay, paste the two files inside the values folder of the resource. Okay, right click on the values and then choose paste. This one, copy, paste, and then you will be prompted with the destination directory. So take a note here. So these two files actually come from this values folder. Okay, so in this case, we want to choose values. Press OK. Then copy specific file. OK for values, and then overwrite all, and then hello, and then here you will see that the color scheme has been changed. Right, the color scheme has been changed, and then on the themes we also see a changes in the value for these themes that's used in the app. Again, there's also material design tree also provide another themes called values night. So this is the theme for the dark mode. So we also want to copy these themes and put it inside values, paste it, and then choose values dash night. Okay, and then replace overwrite the value, overwrite the previous files. Then we see the new themes. Right. Right after you have copied this file, don't forget to change your project setting so that it will use the new themes. Okay, so we need to change it. The way how we can change it, okay, take a look at your application folder here. Open up the Android manifest files. Open this Android manifest file. Okay, take a look inside the application tag. Find out the code that says Android theme. Okay, on Android current theme here, we want to fill it with add style slash. Okay, so slash here we should fill in with the name of the themes provided in our theme file. So open up your theme file. Okay, take a look at the style tag here. It has one attribute called name. Okay, so copy paste the name here, app theme here. Copy this one. Let's go back to our Android manifest and then paste the name of the theme over here, app.theme. So when you get back again to your main activity, the activity main, let me close this one first. When you open up your main activity, so it will directly use the new theme that you have selected. Okay, next we are going to learn about view pager. So view pager is actually a component to display fragments. Okay, this fragment is not only one fragment, but it's a list of fragments. And we can swipe left or right to change the fragment. So usually this view pager is used for onboarding or for carousels. So notice that when you install Google Docs from the Google Play Store, and then right after the installations, when you first time open the Google Docs applications, you will be welcome with the splash screen that can be swiped right and left. Okay, so that one is it use view pagers, and then how view pagers works. Actually, it contains a collection of fragments as pages, so that the users can swipe left and right to change to different fragments. And then the active fragments can be controlled via code. Okay, so let's us prepare three fragments in our project. So namely home fragment, playlist, and profile. Okay, let's get back to here. So create three fragments. Okay, right click on our project package, new, choose fragment, blank fragment, and then give the name of the fragment. So earlier in the PPT, we can see there are three examples, home, playlist, and profile. Let's just follow this example. So type in home fragment, and then finish, playlist fragment, finish, profile fragment. So in these examples, I will not show to you how to do it because I have already created these three fragments. Okay, so after you create the three fragments inside your package folder, you will see aside from main activity, you will also have home fragment, playlist fragment, and also profile fragment. Okay, not only the fragment, you will also be created with the layout for each of the fragment. Okay, so if you want to take a look how this view pager later on will behave with your fragments, so you can try to modify the layout of your fragment. For example, in this home fragment, you will be provided with a default text view. You can try to change the text for this text view to this is home fragment, and then do the same thing for the playlist, the text view inside this playlist. This is playlist fragment, and then you can also do the same for the profile fragment. Okay, you can input any other elements too inside your fragment layout. All right. Next, we want to add the components of view pagers version 2 into our project. So open up your build creator file. Okay, build creator, open up, and then add this line. Implementation, Android X, view pager 2, view pager 2, version 1. Okay, so add this library into your project dependencies. And then again, don't forget to synchronize your creator file. So after you have done with the creator synchronization file, okay, so open up your main activity and we want, the activity main, the layout, this one. We want to add the view pager into our activity. So as you can see here, we will add the view pager and then we will set the view pagers to span for the whole viewport that we have. Okay, so view pager can be found from these containers. Okay, on the palette, select containers and then select view pager 2. And then drag this view pager 2 inside our view constraint layout. Okay. Don't forget to give the name for this view pager. So for example, in this case, I give the ID for view pager. For this view pager is view pager, and then set the constraint top, left, right, and bottom to 0. So this constraint should be constraint with the parent component, in this case constraint layout, and then set the layout width and layout height to match the constraint because we want to make the view pagers appear full screen. Right. Next, so after you add this one, we want to connect our fragments earlier, the 3 fragments with our view pagers. So in order to do so, we need to create an adapter. Remember that fragments cannot just be called in a normal manner. So previously we have learned that if we want to display a fragment, okay, fragment must be displayed in a container. So, or in other case, it can be in activity or view pagers. So in order to display a fragment, we need to add an adapter. So let's create a new class in our project. Okay, go to your project package, right click on the new, choose Kotlin class or file, and then give the name, any name that you can think of. So in the PPT, you are given an examples to give the name as my adapter. So it will create a my adapter class. This one, my adapter. And then later on, this my adapter class, we want to make it to extend the fragment state adapter. So input the following code inside the constructor of this my adapter. Okay, file, activity, app compat activity, because later on we want to parse our main activity here into this adapter to be able to load list of fragments. Okay, so in this case, the second parameter for this main adapter will be the array list of fragments here. And then it will extend fragment state adapter, and then it will receive one parameter called activity, this one. If you receive error after you write, after you add up this constructor, the parameter for constructor, and also the extension class for this fragment state adapter, what you want to do next here is that we want to create operating. We want to override several functions of this fragment state adapter because fragment state adapter itself is actually an abstract class. So we need to implement some of its abstract function or abstract method. Okay, so the first abstract method that we want to override the functionality is the get item count. Okay, so override fun get item count, and then it will return integer, and then return fragments, the array list here, dot size. We want to return the size of this array list of fragment. And then next, the second implementation, the second method that we want to override is the create fragment function. Okay, so override fun create fragment, it will return a fragment, and then in here return the fragments object here at the positions of this position. Right, so after you have created this adapter class, let's get back to our main activity Kotlin file here. And then we want to add an array list of fragments. Okay, so add one data member fragments with the type of array list fragments, and then initialize it as an empty array list at this line of code. And then next, we want to add the three fragments that we have created, the home, playlist, and profile, into this array list of fragments. Okay, so do it by typing fragments.add home fragment, and then parenthesis open, close, fragments.add playlist fragment, fragments.add profile fragment. Right. So after you add the fragments, then we need to bind the view pager with our adapter. Okay. So we need to bind the view pager with the adapter class that we have just created over here, so that we can display the fragments inside our view pager. Okay, the code here is bind view pager dot adapter equal the main adapter class, and then what will be the activity? It will be this activity, the main activity, and then what is the array list of fragments that we want to display? Fragments. So after you put this code, okay, run the application by selecting run app, and then wait for the debug process. Okay, so when your app has been successfully installed on the emulators, you can try to swipe left and right to see that the view pages can display the three fragments that we have created. Okay, and then by swiping the screen left or right, we can see the behavior in which the fragment will be changed. Okay, you can take a look at the code more clear in the PPT. Okay. Next, we are going to cover about bottom navigation bar. So bottom navigation is actually a tab menu that can be easily accessed. So according to the material design tree, the suggested number for this bottom navigation menu should be in between 3 to 5 menus. Okay, and then it's mainly used for high level navigations, in which the menu that we put on this bottom navigation bar should be accessible from any page. You can read more details about this bottom navigation from this M3 material.io components navigation bar. Okay, let's try to add this bottom navigation bar into our project. So open up your activity main, the XML file. Okay, so within the containers palette, containers group, find out the bottom navigation view components. So drag this bottom navigation view and put it on the same level as our view pager. So we don't want to put our bottom navigation view with inside the view pager. So put it on the same level. Okay. Set the constraint for the bottom navigation, and also don't forget to set up the ID or the name for this bottom navigation view. So in my project, I give it the name as bottom nav, and then set the left, bottom, and right constraint to 0, because we want to set these bottom navigations to always stick to the bottom part of the application. And then set the constraint to 0, 0, 0, and then set the layout width to match with the constraint, and the layout height set it to wrap content. So you will get this layout for your bottom navigation view. And then next, we want to add some items, right? We want to create item for our bottom navigation view here. Before we create the item, okay, we want to add the icon first. So you can see here in the project, in this project, I have 3 additional icons: home, playlist, and also profile. So let's get over to this rest folder and then go over to drawable. Right click on drawable, choose new, and choose vector asset. Okay. On this vector asset, choose the clip art. We want to choose the home, library books, and also the persons. Okay. Type in home, you will see home, this one, select it, okay. After you select home, and then you can set the color for your icon here, and then next and finish. And do the same for the other icon. Add new vectors, look for library books, this one, or you can also select library music. Okay. So in this example in the PPT, it is we use library books for the icon. Okay, choose library books, press OK, and then you can set the color and then press next, and then add the last one is the person, new vector offset on drawable, choose person. Okay, you may have several other type icon of a persons. Maybe you can choose person, this one, this person icon. Click on OK, and then afterward next, and then finish. And then at the end, our drawable, we will have additional 3 icons: home, library, and person. Next, we want to create the menu, right? List of menu for this bottom navigation bar. So in here, okay, take a look at the rest. Right click on rest, choose new, and then select Android resource file. So in this Android resource files, give the name bottom navigation menu. And then for the resource type, change it to menu. Okay. Give the file name bottom navigation menu. And then for resource type, set it as the menu, and then press OK. So after you press OK, so I will not do this because I already have this bottom navigation menu in my project. Okay, you inside the rest folder, you will see one folder called menu, and then we can see bottom navigation underscore menu over here. So add 3 menu item into this layout. Okay, just drag and drop 3 menu item. Okay, and then later on we will set the, for each item we give them the unique ID and also title. So for example here, select the first item, set it, give it the name item home or home item. Okay, and then we can set the title home, and then next we want to set the icon here. The icon, select the icon, select the home icon that we have just added into our drawable resource. Okay, so after select it, the home icon, and then in the show as action, choose always, apply, and then visible, set it as true. Later on, you will see that it will change to the home icon like this one. Do the same thing for the playlist and also profile item for the rest of this menu item. Okay, so for playlist, set the name, the ID. You can use playlist item or item playlist, any name that you want, a unique name. And then set the title. Okay, set the icon, make it to use the library books, this one. Show as action, set it as always, and then visible, set it as true. The same goes for item profile too. Okay, so for item profile, set the name, the title, set the icon, show as action, set it to always, and then visible. Don't forget to save the layout. So after you save this bottom navigation menu layout, okay, we get back to our activity main, the layout file, this one. Okay, select the bottom navigation, and then find the attributes called menu. And then in this menu attribute, click, and then we want to link it up with our bottom navigation menu. the bottom navigation menu that you have just created earlier. Right, select this one, choose OK, and then you will see that the three menu that we have created will be displayed in this bottom navigation bar. Next, we want to link up our view pager with our bottom navigation menu because at this moment, our view pager and then the bottom navigation menu has not been linked at all. So open up the main activity, the Kotlin file. Okay, so type in this code. So here I will use the scope function. Sorry. In this case, I'm using scope function so that I will not type in a lot of code. Okay. If you are confused about scope function, you can also refer to the PPT here. Okay. We want to register on page change on the view pager. It should affect the bottom navigation bar. We want to link the up. Okay. So in here, in my code, I use scope function with. Okay, with the binding object here, I want to change the value. I want to set a register on page change for the view pager. View pager register on page change callback. Okay, object colon view pager 2 on page change callback. And then inside this method, okay, we want to fill in with this method. Override fun on page selected position. Okay, so we want to set our bottom navigation. Okay, because I already used scope function, I don't need to type this bind again. So directly bottom nav dot selected item ID equal bottom nav dot menu get item at the positions that is selected by in our view pager, and then get the item ID. So after you put this code, try to run your app, and then later on you will see that actually our bottom navigation bar has been linked to the view pager, but at this moment it's still not yet fully function, right? Let's say here, if you swipe left and right, you can see the focus on the bottom navigation bar, it will be changed, right? According to our view pager. But at this step of your code, okay, if you were clicking on your bottom navigation bar, it will not change to the appropriate view pager. The fragment inside the view pager will not be changed to the appropriate fragment. So in this case, we want to do the same thing. Earlier, we just link our view pager with our bottom navigation bar. Now, we want to link up each menu item inside our bottom navigation bar with our view pager fragment. So here, okay, let's go back to our code. Okay, choose bottom nav dot set on item selected listener. Okay, bottom nav set on item selected listener. So if you don't use the scope function, you need to write bind dot bottom nav, similar like the one in the PPT. This one. Bind bottom nav set on item selected listener. But since I already used scope functions, I can just directly write the name of this bottom nav component. And then because this set on item selected listener returns a value true, okay, so put true value first. Okay, you don't need to type return because this is a lambda function, so just directly write true. And then next, we want to set up what will happen when we click on a specific bottom navigation menu. So here we want to set view pager dot current item equal when bottom nav dot item ID here. Okay, when it the bottom navigation, the context of this bottom navigation, when it dot item ID, okay, if it's selected, then we want to set the view pager to view r.id item home is set to 0, r.item ID, r.id item playlist set to 1, r.id item profile is set to 2. Okay, item home, item playlist, item profile, it is correspond with the menu item that we have just created earlier. Okay, so in the menu, take a look at the menu. Okay, take a look at the name of each menu item that we have, and then set it inside the main activity. Our item home is set to 0, so that this item home will be linked to the home fragment. The playlist set to 1 because we want to set the playlist to be linked with the playlist fragment, and then for the profiles to be linked with the profile fragment. Otherwise, we set it to default to display the default home fragment. After you finish adding this code, debug your app again, compile your app, and deploy it. After the app has been deployed on your emulator, you can take a look. Okay, every time you swipe left and right, the bottom navigation bar will change. Okay, the same thing if you click on this profile in the bottom navigation menu, it will also directly display the profile page for in the view page. Playlist, it will display the playlist fragment. Home, it will display the home fragment. Okay, so if you are confused, you can take a look at the PPT. It already shows the step by step what you need to do, what you should put over there. And then next, we're going to talk about the APPT typography. So this is basically a self exercise for you guys. So I will not show it to you. You can try on your own, but I will explain what you should do for this exercise. So in this exercise, okay, try to open the fragment profile.xml file, and then delete the default text view, and then add a constraint layout, and then add 3 text views. So in the PPT, you have been given the examples of what are the text view that you should add inside your fragment profile, the layout of your fragment profile. Feel free to change the text inside these 3 text view. So I'll just give you a glimpse of examples in here, what I have done. So in the fragment profiles, the layout, let me minimize this one. Okay, delete the default text view, like in the playlist previously, we have provided with one default text view. Delete this one, and then after that, add the constraint layout, and then add the text view inside this constraint layout. Feel free to change the text, and then as usual, set the constraint for each of the text view, give the name, and then we can change the style. All right. So previously, if we want to change the font, we want to change like the color of the text, we want to change the size of the text, we need to set it manually, right? One by changing, let's say, the size. Okay, change the size and then color, text color. We need to change it manually one by one. But here we want to use the themes, right? We want to use the style provided by the material design 3 themes. So what we can do here, choose profile, and then find the attribute style, and then on the style, change to add style, text appearance, material 3, headline medium. Okay, so basically in the PPT, you have been given several examples. What are the styles that you can try to use? For example, this one, headline medium, body small, body medium, in which these 3 styles should be used respectively for title, subtitle, and also for the content. Okay, try to exercise changing these 3 styles on your own. Next, let's talk about the text field in Material Design 3. So this is also self-exercise you need to practice on your own. I will not give you the examples, but you need to practice on your own, but I will give you the explanations how to do it. Okay, text field in Material Design editions is a form of edit text, but with more settings. Okay, it has a richer layout. So there are 2 types of text field provided in Material Design 3. The first one is the field text field, and then the second one is the outline text field. So you can see here, the field text field, we can see if the user fill in on the text, okay, there will be a label text that will be shown on top of the user inputted text. And you may notice that there are no outline or no borders on this text field. And then the second type, outline text fields, You can see the text field itself has a border. Okay. And then once the users input some text, the label text or the hint text here will be displayed on the border of this text field. Okay, so this is the anatomy of text field in Material Design 3. You can learn on your own. Okay, so how we can add this style text field according to Material Design 3. So open up your Android Studio, and then if previously we always choose plain text, now we don't want to use plain text anymore, but we want to use another component called text input layout. So drag and drop this text input layout. So when you inputting this text input layout into your project, okay, you will see that it consists of two components, the text input layout and also text input edit text. So this is the parent component, and then this is the child component. So next, what we want to do here, we want to set the attribute for this parent text input layout of the component, okay, of this component. Okay, click on the parents component and then select the style, change the style to outline box. Okay, so on this text input layout, style, choose add style, widget, material, 3 material 3, text input layout, outline box. Okay, you will have this one. So on the style, text input layout, outline box. And then next, you want to enable the hint again on this parent component. Set the hint, let's say hint is email, for example, and we want to enable the hint and also enable the hint animation. Okay. Next, go over to the child component here, text input edit text, and then delete the hint that's provided over here. Okay, delete the hint. So that we will only display the hint from the parent component here. Okay, do the same for several other text input that you have added on this fragment, on this profile fragment, such as email, full name, password, repeat password. Okay, run the app and then try to click the text input, and then you will see the behavior. Okay, so for example here, let me redeploy the app. Okay, let's go over to the profile, and then yeah, because I have not set the constraint for this text input layout, so it will be directly dragged to the top left of the layout. Ignore this. You can try on your own later on. Set the okay. Let's just set this constraint now. Okay, set it at the bottom of this. For this text input layout, set it at the bottom of text input layout. Set at the bottom. Give some space. Let's say 24, and then set the left and right to 0, or you can set, let's say, 16, and then redeploy the app again. Profile, we can see email, and then when I want to fill in the email, okay, you can see the animation. Okay, the email is changed on top of here, this one. Okay, when it lost the focus, release profile, it will return back. Get the focus, the email will change. All right, so this is how the text field in the Material Design 3 works. Okay, you can set the icons, and then you can modify the style for each of the text field that you have. Okay, try on your own. Next, about button. Okay, but there are 4 uses of buttons in material design tree. To know more about these buttons, please visit this website. Okay, visit m3material.io components all buttons. So take a look what are the usage, the 4 uses of buttons according to the material design tree. Okay, there are typically 3 types of button that we can use in the applications. The first one is the extended floating action button. So this button should be used for the highest emphasis action, and then the high emphasis button with the full background. The background is fully filled with some color. And then lastly, we have only a text button that should be used for a low emphasis action. Right. So notice that when you add the button, okay, without using material design tree, your button will look like in a square form like this one. But if you use material design tree, your button will be changed to an elliptical form like this one. So of course you can try to change the style of your button on your own. You can experiment on your own. Okay. Another topic that you need to self-explore is about card. So we have learned the usage of card when we learn about recycler view. Okay. The same. Card actually is a card-like component used to display information of a topic. Information displayed in a card should be readable, easily readable. Should contain relevant information and have actions such as the action that is clickable, for example, using button. Okay, so this is the examples of card anatomy according to material design tree. And then you can also have a card divider that can be used to separate region in cards or to indicate area of a card that can be expanded. So if your card have an information that can be expanded, so you should use a full width divider in your card. However, if your card does not have a fully expandable information, so it's better to use an inset dividers. Okay, so please create one card layout, card playlist such as this one. Okay, make sure to finish this layout and because we will use this in our next class. Okay, thank you for listening. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me or the teaching assistants, or you can also contact us to the Google Space Group.